Todd specifically wanted from the get-go. It was one of the first things that when we met initially that he said we were going to be using like stacked ledgestone. And I'm like, okay. And I usually only get to use that in properties. Like I've done some multifamily properties in New Mexico. You know, it's really popular there. It's not something we see here a lot, but it was cool and it's unique and it's different. And I think they used it, he wanted to use it in certain places, but in a restrained way. So it didn't look like we just put a bunch of fake stone everywhere. But inside, I think it just added a lot of texture and dimension to, you know, a living room that has super tall ceilings, you know, and a nice size footprint, but it made it feel not as, cold, you know. So you know, we brought in the kitchen the stacked stone again. I thought it needed to be somewhere else inside the house, and that they actually really wanted the range covered. And at first I was like, I don't know what that's gonna look like. I was like, it's gonna be a lot of stone. You know, we're gonna lose a significant amount of countertops on the side, but then you turn around and we have a giant island, so it's fine. And it just adds another, like that textured element to it, just to warm up everything. And then you've got the beams running into that. It wasn't like we were trying to put a house from like the mountains down here, but I think we achieved that really nicely. Like it doesn't look out of place here, but we were still able to incorporate those materials that aren't normally seen here, and then using it over the range, doing something really different that you don't see a range hood like that. Countertops in the kitchen, those are a leather finish, which is one of my favorites. It's a leather finish granite. It's actually very reasonably priced, which is fantastic, but it hides a lot of things. And they have small children, so it's great for kids because it's very forgiving. You don't have that super high shine polished finish, especially with a dark countertop that you're gonna literally see everything. But we really wanted to juxtapose the light and the dark in there to ground the kitchen, and it's got a lower ceiling, but we really needed something to contrast like the light walls and all the wood tones, and that was an immediate thing that I thought we should look at, and they loved it. There's something to be said for neutrals. They withstand the test of time. They're not going to be painting their house, you know, in 5 years. Nobody wants to do that. But the key is the layering of the different textures to not have it look bland. We wanted it to be clean, you know, and have that clean, crisp kind of aesthetic, but it can't be cold. That's where like the furnishings come in, and that's a performance fabric on their sectional, which, I mean, you could look at it, there is not one stain on it, which is amazing. They keep an eye on the kids, I'm sure, but they gotta live in it, you know, and that's a big deal for us here. Like, it has to be functional. It has to be something that can withstand your everyday life. The flooring in there, it's actually a porcelain tile, wood look tile, which is a great material for their setup because they're on the water, they have the pool. You know, we needed something durable with the kids. We needed something durable inside and outside coming in. But it adds, again, a lot of texture, you know, and it looks, you know, it's not real wood, but you got to look at it to see. And then obviously the Nanawall, like that is, I never thought in my entire life that the first time I would ever use a Nanawall would be in Homa, and it was. But it's a great feature, and for that area, you know, it really brings in that true like indoor-outdoor living. They really do live outside of their house a lot. They like to entertain, they like to grill, they like to have crawfish boils, they love their pool, you know, and I think they're just going to use that more and more as the kids get older and they have more parties. Their bathroom, I think, is really cool. That was another Todd thing. He has this giant, like, it's the biggest shower head that rain head shower I've ever seen in my life. It is a cool walk-through shower that's really popular right now, but I find you gotta be careful with how you do those. And so we did it in a classic travertine look tile that it's It's never going to go out of style. Even though it has a slight chiseled edge to it, which is super traditional, it still works in like a clean space. And they wanted this giant bathtub, which is awesome. So we brought in the same granite from the leather finish granite from the kitchen and used that throughout, again, to contrast the light tones and give it that dimension and depth. You have to have that. You got to have that balance. There's lights on the bottom, and that was like, he said, I want like that to be lit, you know, so if like we don't have all the lights on, you know, and it's a cloudy day or something, like we're gonna be able to see what we're doing. So I mean, those are actually like outdoor lights that we put in there, which everyone thought was crazy, but it's perfect. I mean, it's waterproof. They do the job. They provide a good source of light. It's soft ambient lighting. And then we put the pebbles on the floor, which are just like a cool spa aesthetic, which, you know, we see that a lot, but I don't think that's going anywhere for a long time. Again, it's just layering all those different materials. Even though they're tiles, they all have a different texture and quality to them that just add, I think, to, it's cohesive, but it's got a little something going on. I didn't have a lot to do with the pool. I think they did like a really cool job. I mean, the sunken hibachi bar, I mean, that's right up their alley.